everybody, it's Dara, and today and right now we are making raw vegan pink icing to use especially today for Valentine's Day for our little heart-shaped cookies, sugar cookies with pink coconut icing. They taste coconutty because I'm using coconut manna as the base. Coconut manna basically is a combination. It's the inside, it's the fruit of the coconut and the oils blended together. So the coconut oil is the oil extracted without the fruit. So it's kind of like the flakes of the coconut and the oil blended together, and it's creamy and it's delicious and it's the perfect consistency for our icing, which is such a good thing to know how to do, to be able to make raw vegan icing and put it on a little raw vegan cupcake or on these beautiful gluten-free, dairy-free cookies. So we know that we are eating something that is in our highest good and still treating and loving ourselves and our loved ones, because this is such a beautiful thing to make for Valentine's Day or any day really. So here goes. I'm putting the link to the cookies below in case you haven't seen that, so you'll have the sugar cookie recipe. Basically, I took the coconut manna, and the coconut manna, as with coconut oil, has a certain temperature that it will solidify and a certain temperature that it will liquefy. We want to have it a little liquidy. So all I did was take a saucepan, put some little bit of water, and then warm it, put it on low, and waited until the coconut manna started to liquefy. So I used half a cup, and pretty much it's probably going to be this jar. Half a cup. This is 16 ounces, so half of this. I'm going to just use what's left in this jar because this is half a cup. And I need my NutriBullet base, which I'm going to use the NutriBullet today because it's such a small amount and you get to use the small container. The NutriBullet 900 is the best little blender ever. It will blend, grind, and liquefy. So we're going to get the NutriBullet base and basically put everything in here. So that's how easy. Here we go. We've had so much fun in the kitchen. This is Sweet February, so we're making so many sweet and delicious things, and we're going to share them with you. And we've been perfecting the recipes before I do them on video, which is not usually my norm. Usually I'm just, everything's not available because we've made like 6 recipes today. I'm getting my spatula. So look how gorgeous this is. This looks like icing already, but it's going to get better. The thing about the icing, this particular one, is that if we didn't have to worry about the color and changing the white nature of the coconut manna, we could use coconut sugar, or we could use dates to sweeten it. But because I really am particular about the color for this one, I don't want it to get brown. I want it to be a white or very light base so that when I add my beet juice, which is going to turn it pink, it doesn't turn orange or a brownie pink. And so I'm using agave as the sweetener, the lightest agave, but not a lot of it, only 2 tablespoons of it. And I use 2 drops of stevia, liquid stevia. I like Omica brand vanilla. I'll put a couple drops of the liquid stevia, Omica, O-M-I-C-A. So I don't want the stevia taste, it just boosts the sweetness. So anytime you're trying to sweeten something and you really don't want it high glycemic, then just use a little bit of stevia to lift it and you won't taste it. So we have 2 tablespoons of agave going in. Again, if you don't care about the color, you don't mind if it's a little orangey pink, then you can go ahead and use coconut sugar, coconut nectar, dates. So here we go. We have that. Here's my recipe. I put in a little more agave. So I had 3 or 4 teaspoons of agave and I just used 2 tablespoons. It's going to be a little sweeter than it was earlier, but that's okay. Use 4 teaspoons or use a tablespoon or use 2 tablespoons. You're going to taste it before you ice it. Now, my beet juice has already been made. We did that today. And you want to be careful with the beet juice because it's, pretty staining. But basically, I'm only going to use 1/8 of a teaspoon, 1/8. It goes a long way. It's very strong. So you can juice the beet in a juicer, or you can use a lemon zester and zest the beet. Then squeeze the beet shavings over like a fine strainer, a little strainer, into a bowl. That's it. That's all we need. Just a little titch more. Okay, it's about an 8. Then what I did was I blended it. I didn't do the salt yet, so it's just a pinch, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2 pinches, and then I go ahead and I blend it. And what happened last time is it got a little bit chunky. It's the kind of thing where it's not easily spreadable, but that's okay. What I do when I ice them is I just take little pieces of it and press them on. So it's not the spreadable kind of icing. If we want that, we need to make it a little more liquid. And in order to make it a little more liquid, I use coconut oil, and I just use 2 tablespoons of that. And there you have it. There's other ways of making more spreadable icings. You could add cashews, add a little bit of water. It's just, for this particular one, I needed it to just be able to piece it, little pieces. Here we go. Yeah, so it's thick, and if you want it a little pinker, which I kind of do, I'm just going to add a little more beet juice. So you can use up to 1/4 of a teaspoon and blend it some more. There we have it. It's a little bit fluffy, and I'm pretty sure that you could, this is the kind of icing you press onto a cookie. That's what that is, and it's absolutely beautiful. We'll do a different kind of cake frosting, at another time. So I am happy to say that they're delicious. They taste like coconut. You could add a little bit of raspberry extract, you could add different flavors, but we were really happy with these today. So I'm so glad I got to share them with you in time for you to make them for Valentine's Day. Please let me know how they are, how you do with them, and get your greens on and your sweet little heart cookies on. I'll see you really soon. Okay, I just want to share with you guys that I'm looking at this and it's a little bit blotchy. So the first time that I made it, I did everything by hand, mashing it all up in a bowl. So it can be done without the NutriBullet, or after you're done, just put it in a bowl and just with a fork, just press like mashed potatoes and make sure that all the beet is dispersed. But I figured most of you can get that on your own, but just in case you didn't think of it, go ahead and mash it with a fork. But in either case, it's delicious. I'm gonna eat one. It's so good. I'll see you guys soon.